Hi, my name is Tori, and this 10-minute comprehensive core challenge is designed to tighten and tone your deepest abdominal muscles so that you can close the gap of your diastasis, stabilize your spine, and completely eradicate your mommy pooch. Because I'm going to be walking you through the fundamentals of establishing a strong core, this is the perfect beginner's workout regardless of your current abdominal strength. So without further ado, let's head on down to the floor. Now this workout does not require any equipment at all, but if you have a core ball on hand, feel free to put it in between your knees just to help you engage with your deep core and your pelvic floor a little bit easier. Now if you have diastasis, I actually want you to come down to your side and then roll onto your back just to keep your core safe. Now we're going to begin by warming up our deep core by practicing a complete core contraction through core canister breathing. Now I've done an entire video on this already, so I'm not going to take the time to go through this exercise, but for the purposes of this video, what I want you to practice doing is fully exhaling every last sip of air, and that's going to engage your deepest abdominal muscle, your transverse abdominis. So let's go ahead and begin. Go ahead and inhale in through your nose. Expand your entire diaphragm and then exhale. Okay, I want you to keep practicing that, and I'm going to explain why this is important. Transverse abdominis is most responsible for bringing everything together and in. It's responsible for cinching up your core, for your waistline. It acts as your internal built-in corset. It does not matter what exercise you do to try and tone your tummy. If you don't know how to breathe correctly, nothing is going to work. Next, we are going to move into low back flex. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hips, and right now you might have a little bit of an arch in your back, and that's okay. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of tilt back, rock back, or tuck back, okay? Slow back tuck. And what I want you to do is you move with your breath. Keep working with that exhale that we were practicing already, okay? Every complete exhale is when you should be in your fullest tilt, okay? And you might notice that as you go, or just be mindful that as you go into that low back flex, are your ribs flaring up, okay? If they are, I need you to engage your upper abs and bring that down too. So everything should be meeting in the middle. It should be coming in, in like this, and then down to the floor, okay? And that's that good deep core contraction. And what we're doing here is we're practicing aligning our spine. We want to build a really strong core around a properly aligned spine. I want to practice that spinal stability. It's going to keep you safe, eliminate any low back pain that you may have. That concludes our warm-up. Now we're going to move on to the heart of this workout. But what I want you to do is on your next exhale, go into that full deep low back flex. But now bring your knees up to 90, okay? If you have that ball, go ahead and remove it to the side. And now we're gonna do alternating heel taps. So down and up and down and up. And now what we're doing, we're working on the concept of progressive overload. Each exercise is building on each other and they're getting progressively harder. Now what this is doing is this is learning how to stabilize your pelvis as you walk. Okay, we're mimicking that motion of walking. So we have that deep core contraction, we have that properly aligned spine, and now we're stabilizing our pelvis. Your pelvis can rock, it can twist, and so we really want to make sure that that is stabilized. It impacts our pelvic floor, it impacts diastasis, so this is really important. Now we're going to take it up a notch again. Now instead of alternating heel tap, one heel down, meet at the top, second heel down, meet at the top, we're going to do reciprocating. So both legs are going to be moving at the same time, okay? That's a little bit more of a functional pattern there. Now I really want you fighting for that low back flex. As we increase We shouldn't really be increasing the speed. It might seem like we are, but I still want you moving slowly with your breath. But now we just have both of those sides of our body moving at the same time. And it requires more core connection, more stabilization. You might start to feel a little bit in your low back. And as long as it's not hurting because you're arched, can't see because of my black shirt, but as long as you're not arched in an anterior tilt, and you're just feeling because you're engaged, that's fine, because your transverse abdominis, it attaches to your spine and your back. So if you're just feeling engagement and activation, that's good. It means you're engaging the right muscles. All right, so now we're going to move to, this is going to be the hardest part of our work today. Let's bring both of your legs up, restabilize if you need to, and make sure you're still pressing your knees in together. And now we're going to move on to double heel taps. This requires the most amount of core connection and core stabilization, pelvis stabilization, because as you lower, you are going to be tempted to come out of alignment and to arch. Again, I have that arch there. I need you to restabilize, drop the ribs, and fight for that engagement. Okay, this is tricky. If you've been trying to get that tummy cinched, trying to get it snatched, apparently is the lingo these days, and it hasn't been working for you, it is likely that you have not had proper alignment. And there is no exercise that is going to flatten, tighten, and tone your tummy if you have poor alignment, if you're not using the correct muscles. If you go into an anterior tilt like that, all of the work is in your hip flexors. You lose the core engagement. So if you do a lot of core exercises and you only ever feel it in your hip flexors, you're not using the right muscles. And guys, this is the most challenging exercise in this workout, and this is also the most challenging part. This is our bonus because we're here for another minute, okay? This is where it's hard because we're working on that endurance, okay? We have to endure, and sometimes life throws challenges our way, and we end up being in those challenges a little bit longer than we'd like to be. When challenges come in my life and I'm tempted to just despair or be really frustrated, when will this challenge end? I come back to the truth that I know that God is in complete control. And when I come back to my core, to my center, and I restabilize my thoughts and my emotions, guess what? The challenge gets a little easier, right? We're still in the work. We're going back to those reciprocating heel taps. We're still working. It's still hard. But when we come back and we take control of our breath, when we stabilize our thoughts and our emotions, we're able to get through the challenge a little bit easier. Exercise is a perfect metaphor for life. It's one of the things I love most about it. Especially as a mom with little kids, sometimes life just seems to get out of hand. There are so many blessings in the day, but there's also a lot of challenges. Okay, now we're coming back to alternating heel taps. There's a lot of challenges. And sometimes, like, when is this going to be over? But you know what? Those questions, they don't serve me. They don't help me get through the moment. And then I end up having all that mom guilt at the end of the day, wishing that the challenge, the thing that's going to make me stronger, the thing that's going to make me a better mom, wishing that it was over, instead of just learning from it, instead of growing from it, becoming stronger for it. If you need to take a break at any time, that's fine. We're working on endurance, but come back and do this exercise over and over again. If you need to take a break, that's fine. Remember, we don't want you to sacrifice alignment. And if you need to restabilize, do it. I'm here. You can always press replay. You can always come back tomorrow. You can always keep working on this. Come back to that life-giving breath that we're told that God gave us back in the book of Genesis. Come back to that life-giving breath. That breath that stabilizes you, that centers you. And before you know it, the challenge does pass. You're maybe weeping for a season, right? But joy comes in the morning. And at the end of the trial, go ahead and lower your legs. Just come back to our foundation. Into those low back flexes. See, after we've been in that hard work for some time, we're able to enjoy the restful time a little bit more. We can be more thankful for when life is at ease. We never want to lose control of our breath. In the good times and in the hard times, the peaceful and restful times, as well as the times that we're being challenged. Now, we're just going to come back to that breath, okay? Just be still. Scripture says, be still and know that I am God. Stabilizing around truth, alignment. There is an objective truth in physical alignment, okay? Nobody can walk around and say, well, this arched back works for me. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's going to deteriorate your disc. You're going to have low back pain, possibly sciatica, diastasis, pelvic floor dysfunction, all kinds of things. This doesn't work for anything. There is an anatomical truth. There is alignment. When we are not walking in alignment with truth, your life starts to deteriorate in other ways too. So come back to that breath. Come back to proper alignment. Scripture tells us to bring every thought captive under the obedience of Christ. Don't let your mind run away with you. We're all a work in progress. We're all improving and we're all getting stronger every single day. Now, even if your core was perfectly engaged throughout this entire workout, you may be feeling it in your hip flexors. I know I am a little bit. That's normal. That's okay. As long as you felt that good deep core connection as well, then we're good. We're working on strengthening both of these muscles. If you would like a little extra stretch for your hip flexors, go ahead and check out this video right here. I'll see you there and we'll get a good stretch on.